Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. If you watch any of my tutorials before, or this is your first time and you're just getting started with Squarespace, I'm gonna teach you everything you need to know about Squarespace Mobile with Fluid Engine, or your mobile website with Fluid Engine. There are a few tips and tricks you just have to understand how it works, because if you make a change on desktop, it doesn't affect mobile, and when you make a change on desktop, sometimes it does affect mobile. So in this video, I'm gonna walk through all of that and give you some of my best professional tips to make sure you have a great user experience. So here we are on the back end of this site. This is actually a template that I sell. And so I'm just gonna show you a part of this. I love this template. If you're looking for an amazing template, and if you're a designer, this is for you. But we could have that conversation later, or just check the links down below. All right, so let's say we have this section here. We have this title, maybe it says benefits, maybe it says features, and then feature 1, feature 2, feature 3. We have these icons, all of this. Now, we really want to make sure that when we design this, when it goes to mobile, it looks beautiful. This is not what we want it to look like. And this is just one issue of like potentially a few issues that could come up. The icons are way too big. And so we want to make sure when we design this out that we design it out right the first time, especially because there are cool features of just being able to duplicate something as you create it. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to show you, I just created this section right now to show you as a demo. I'm going to show you how we do this section properly now. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do here is, let's say I've designed this page out and I'm really happy with it, and then I want to add this line. All right, so I'm adding this line in and I want it to go right here. It's going to go on the page right here. Boom, cool, good to go. It's under this. Maybe I'd add a little bit more space here, but let's just say I like it like this, okay? When I go to mobile, you're going to see that that line doesn't exist here. And you're like, where is it? I lost it, or I need to create a new one. Actually, it's way at the bottom here, because what happens is when you add a new block to a section, it always goes to the bottom of the list on mobile. And so if you add anything to the top of the page, you have to go to mobile and then make sure you move it up. If there was a better way to do it, maybe they'll find it. But as of right now, that's actually the best. But when you click on it on mobile specifically, they have this up-down arrow that works perfectly. I don't have to move my cursor, and I could just hit it as many times as I want to get something up to the top of the page. Boom, set it up as it should be. We are good to go. The other thing too is one of the rules that I work by is unless the blocks are supposed to overlap, I never let the blocks overlap. So when when you're looking at the grid here, I would never have a box look like this. Even though it looks fine on the outside, this box is too big, and on mobile, it's not going to change the size right now because I already have it formatted, but it can get a little funny with the actual sizing of the boxes, because then this could be pushing this content down and gets really weird. Spacing gets funny, like this right here. You can see that it's just extra spacing that wasn't supposed to be there. And so if I go back, you'll see it has all this extra space that's overlapping. Over time, that could lead to more problems and more complication. So if it's not supposed to overlap, I don't let it overlap. All right, so back to this section here. So we design these sections out. When I'm building a page, I try my best. You can't always do this, but I try my best to think about the page in order that I want it to show up on mobile, and then I add those elements to the page. And so here on the page, I added in the title, and then I would add in the line, and then I'd add in this icon, and then this text block. What's cool is once you get this formatted properly, you could duplicate it. So what I do is I add the title, add the line, add the image, add the text box, then I go to mobile and format it the way I want. So then I'll come in here and adjust this the way I want. So let's just say I want it just about there. And then again, this text box is way too big, so I'll make it smaller. I might even make it a little bit thinner if I want. What's so cool about this is that, like, if you want to do it this way, you can. So if you want it to show up like this and have it set up like right next to each other, you could totally do that as well. So it has a different look and feel on mobile. So for now, I'm actually going to keep it like this. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to desktop and I'm going to redesign this page. So I'm going to get rid of these. Perfect. Let's delete those. And I'll delete these. Cool. We're good to go. All right. So then from here, I would take this. I take these two elements, and then I would duplicate these and then start to build them out. And so there's that yellow line that tells me it's center. I'm down one, I'll move that down, and I'll actually move this down as well. So here I'll go back to mobile, and you could see here, these tips really save you a lot of time. If you don't do this in the beginning, you'll have to go back and do this for every single one. So this just saves you a ton of time. And I do want to say, I have this thing called the Fluid Engine Starter Kit. It's a mini course of sorts that you could purchase where I have videos and tutorials of how to use the editor in the best way possible. You're seeing me use like shortcuts and really understanding how the builder works. I walk through all of that in the Fluid Engine Starter Kit. It's only a few bucks. Check it out on the link below and you could purchase it today. All right, so one other tip I want to show you here as we're continuing to build before I scale these out. One thing I would say is when I click on an image, it gives me these options of alignment for this specific image. So here I could actually align the PNG to be on the left so it aligns with the text better, which I like. But let me just show you, this is where it gets a little bit interesting. If I go to mobile, the alignment is left. And so if I come here and I'm like, no, I actually want it to be aligned right. And then I go here, you're going to see now it's aligned right. So there's some things, if I could break them all down in this video, I would, but there are some things that are the same for desktop and mobile and some things that are different for desktop and mobile. So I don't know what the exact principle is, but I would probably summarize it like this. If you're adjusting or changing the content within the block, then it's for desktop and mobile. But if you're adjusting the block itself, it is just for desktop or mobile. So if I make this block like huge, if I just had it like that, nothing changes on mobile. But if I change the alignment inside the block, or I change the image, obviously, or any of that, it will then adjust for both. Cool, so here I'll get into the duplication process, and then I'll drag this over here. Put that there. And then what's cool is once you have all of those, you could drag these up and then duplicate it down. Perfect. Do it one more time. Move this down. And just like that, I just created 9. So you'll see I just added 7 within 2 seconds because once you get one right, you get them all right, which is really, really cool. And then again, here you can see everything is formatted perfectly. So again, a few pro tips that I want to go over at the end of this video to really walk you through some really cool things. All right, the first thing is, again, we don't overlap blocks as much as possible. If they're not supposed to overlap, we don't overlap them. Number 2, when I create a section here, you're going to see that my last blocks always touch the bottom of the grid. I never really leave space like this because it creates inconsistencies in the page. And number 3, the pro tip is just always double check or consider mobile while you're building. So when I'm going through the build process, I'm always at the end of a page checking what the mobile experience is like, getting it optimized the way I like. And then from there, with this new feature of save sections, then I could just hit this and I could add this section to anywhere on my website, which is incredible, powerful, and so useful for you as you design your website. Friends, I have an important update to share with you. If you just watched this video, you got value from this video, you already know what to do, like, subscribe, all that stuff. I love recommending that because it tells the YouTube algorithm some fancy stuff. But what it tells me is that you got value from the content so that I could create more for you. But on top of that, there's this important update that we're doing, that we're launching, that is the most positive, engaging, and coolest place to be if you are an aspiring Squarespace designer. So if you are an aspiring, like I just said, Squarespace designer, this is for you. We have built a community. It is a paid community, but we've built a community that has these pricing tiers that you can get in on, where you can become a better designer in the next 3, 6, 12 months and have support. You could learn you could watch all these videos on your own. You could like read every article on the internet. But what I've learned is the best tips and tricks that I've learned as a designer have happened in community. Also, if you do the community or the coaching component that we offer, you're going to get direct access to someone like myself where I can help speak into issues or challenges you're facing. Having difficulty with a client, we could speak into that. Not sure if the site you just built is what you want to send to the client and you want feedback from people in the community, great place to be a part of it. All right. So there's a ton of value. Honestly, the list is like endless. There's so much value. If you are a designer, you will step up in process, in your flow. You will raise your prices. All of that will happen when you join this community, because every designer I've worked with has raised their prices, has raised their standard, and has become a better designer. So definitely check out that link below. Again, like and subscribe this video if you got value from it, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.